And salutations, one and all, to episode 198 and our final installment of our Movies Through the Decades, part 1 through 5, right here in the Super Review Show Network. I am joined by the panel of panelists of the Super Review Show. Bill, Justin, and Allie is back once again. How you doing tonight, guys?
What's going on, folks?
I mean, I'm only going to be back for a little bit. I still got to go to work in the morning.
Yes, I do too, but it's good to have you back on for a little bit. And Justin's here as always. No, but in all seriousness, guys, this is our last big epic thing that we're gonna do before the roast of me next week.
Yeah, we're doing this tonight on Tuesday because I got something tomorrow. But
damn it, Bill.
What? What am I getting damned for?
Ruining our flow. I'm joking.
It's a joke, don't worry.
Anyway, but next week, get ready.
Yep, it's the roast of the J-Man coming up. We've been,
we can't wait.
Yes,
I'm sure
payback's a bitch.
Yes, payback is a pain, guys.
And get ready, JT. I got another PowerPoint presentation for you.
Is Megan Trainor on it? Gosh. So, anyways,
do you want me to put her on it?
Hey, whatever you want. You're making the PowerPoint, so whatever.
Hey, order in the court.
I think I have him on Rye.
Overruled.
Oh my
What
god.
alert, JT? She's not singing "Dear Future Husband."
No!
She has a husband.
Well, she's married
exactly,
and has 2 kids. So that's besides the point. So, but I did speak to her
before.
Oh no, JT! I'm gonna make this a roast. I mean, it's probably not gonna be as bad as I did with Justin or Bill.
Oh,
it's gonna be bad though.
It's still gonna be bad.
Anyways, so if you've been following our podcast and been following our feed for a while there, and by the way, just 2 things right off the top of the head, right off the top of the bat too. 2 things. If you watch our show live on YouTube, which you should, we do it live on Wednesday nights, but tonight's Tuesday. In the link of our description is a hurricane relief fund for the Red Cross for the Carolinas. I have a friend of mine who actually moved down there recently too, and our dear friend Allie is down there too. But the Carolinas have been hit hard in the U.S., and if you could make any possible donation to help them out down there, there's a Red Cross donation link in the description of this video, and it will be posted on our chat board as well for the remainder of the show.
And plus, don't forget there's another hurricane that's gonna hit Florida like tomorrow.
Yeah, so we're gonna have a lot of hurricane relief stuff going on in our descriptions.
Yikes! Did you guys see that? 165 miles per hour winds.
Category 5
with possible 15-foot storm surge.
Yes. So our hearts go out to the good people of Florida. I have a very good friend of mine. Thankfully, she evacuated this morning.
Oh, good.
So to all our viewers in Florida, please stay safe.
Yes, I have.
Take this seriously. Evacuate.
Yes, don't. I have family down there. I have some friends of mine down there. Please be safe. Please be careful. And our donation links will be there for the Carolinas and Florida as well, on our YouTube channel. So if you have any money to donate to the Red Cross to help them out, please do. That's housekeeping number 1. Number 2, I was going to say too, is yes, our roast of me is next week. But after that, guys, just a reminder, our 200th episode of Mixed Bag is the following week. So please tune in. We're not sure what day of the week we're going to do it on. We might do it Wednesday, might do it later. We're going to discuss that later on. But please tune in to hopefully our panelists. The panelists will be back as well, of other guests that we've had over the years too. But 200 episodes. Bill and I remember when we first started this. We're like, yeah, it's going to last us a year. And we've been doing it for 4 years now. So we appreciate you for listening and tuning in as always to our show.
But it's going to be great. We're going to have fireworks. We're going to have dancing girls. We're going to have everything.
Even
so bring out the dancing chimp.
The dancing chimp. Exactly.
Yeah, PETA had something to say about that.
Damn it, PETA.
No worries. We'll have a cake with an old woman dancing inside of it.
Yes.
Some organization's going to have something to say about it.
Mr. JT.
And my birthday's next week too, but that's the point.
Yeah, that's why we're doing the roast.
I know. No, duh.
Okay, so I think
Anyways,
we should get.
let's get to it. Our last decade we have to cover for our movies through the decades, the 2010s, ladies and gents, children of all ages. Bill, partner in crime, dear friend of mine, where should we start with the year 2010?
Where should we start
Should we
with
start
today?
with the MCU possibly or no? What do you guys think?
Justin? What do you think?
Honestly, MCU until the Avengers
Okay.
is okay. Um, Iron Man 2 was meh. That
It
came
was
out in 2010. That was their only 2010 release.
That was only 2010 release. You're right.
Um, Thor was okay.
I like Thor a
Cap-
lot actually.
Captain America: First Avenger, that was good.
That's
I
very
actually
good.
really liked that one.
Was
So
that
yeah,
2010 or 2011? I'm confused.
Thor and
Thor
Cap
and
were
Cap
two of the
were 2011. I'm
yes.
just making the point that until Avengers, the MCU still trying to gain its footing.
Yes. Iron Man 2 is
Okay.
definitely a setup film, but yeah.
Okay, I got two in mind for 2010, but one's an animated film,
Which one?
Toy Story 3.
How
Oh,
could
so 9.
No, that was 10.
he's right because and when is Bill wrong, first and foremost?
Yeah, when am I wrong, Justin?
Many
what-
times.
Bill, in the rule of large numbers, it has to have happened.
Yes.
Okay, yes, I've been wrong.
No, I remember seeing this in theaters and crying my eyes out. I know I have a life, I get it. But this was a dark movie at the same time.
Yeah, it kind of was.
Like with the Lotso, he looked so lovable and he smelled like strawberries. But sure enough, Toy Story 3 was like the perfect send off for the franchise, shall we?
Yeah, Toy Story 4 and soon to be Toy Story 5, they don't exist.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey,
And Lightyear.
And Lightyear.
they don't exist.
They do not exist.
What
So-
about Buzz Lightyear of Star Command?
Oh,
Okay, I'll cut that some slack. That exists.
didn't they watch the movie inside the movie in that movie?
That'd be Toy
Yes.
Story 2.
So I'm about to say,
Yes.
like, why are we like Woody and Buzz like, let's watch Lightyear, whatever the
It's
animated
like
they're doing.
the army men are bringing in the cassette tape. It's great.
Yeah, sir, yes, sir. It's so funny.
But anyway,
And Tim Allen actually voiced in the movie version of it. In the version that they made into episodes of the show, it was Patrick Warburton, but in the movie, it was Tim Allen.
Wow. Amazing.
I know.
Needless to say.
I know. We went off track.
It's okay.
Anyway, yeah, no, Toy Story 3. This is why I'm upset that they made a fourth one and they're gonna make a fifth one. This would have been the perfect send off.
Oh, it was the perfect setup. The end of the movie is and spoilers for the people who haven't seen it. Shame
All
on
two
you.
of you.
All one person. I'd refuse to see it. No. But no, this is a great finale to a fantastic trilogy. I would say one of the best trilogies of all time too. If you exclude 4 and 5, but think about it.
But I know when especially that last scene
When they're playing,
and Andy goes, you're gonna take good care of him, right? And then when Andy goes off, Woody turns around and goes, so long, partner. And because you know what, and hey, you went off topic, I'm going off topic. There was because it kind of reminds me of a meme. It was after the great Stan Lee died.
Yeah, I remember that meme.
It had
So long,
Stan
partner.
Lee as Andy, and it had
Kevin.
Kevin Feige as Bonnie. And he's like showing him all the toys with their Marvel characters. The last one goes, "This is my most important one." And it's of course
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man goes, "I want you to take good care of him, Kevin, okay?"
I remember that. Emotional.
Yeah. But But no, this movie, because you know what it is, and I've been saying this for years, and now I'm gonna keep saying it. This movie is basically a what should we call it? It's basically a commentary on growing up. Like a lot of the kids who, when this movie came out, when the first one came out, were Andy's age. And then, a lot of the kids who in that age were going off to college.
Yeah.
And then, even now at Toy Story 4, there are those kids who are now older and married and they're having children of their own. And Toy Story is sort of basically a commentary on life of growing up. And I think that's the thing that made people upset. Or not make people upset, but made people cry at the end. So, yeah, Toy Story 3. And you know my other one for 2010 is?
What?
It's about a movie that's in a dream, within a dream, within a dream, within a dream.
Oh, your favorite Nolan movie.
Inception. Has
It
anyone
was
seen
hard.
this movie?
It was so
No.
hard. It was so
I
hard to
tried
follow.
to watch this movie. Keyword is try.
And what happened, Justin?
I got bored / confused.
Wah, wah.
Yeah, so Christopher Nolan in his first post Dark Knight movie. This movie's just damn confusing.
A lot of people praise it. Actually, I'm surprised.
I watched it and I just couldn't get it, and I just was like so confused.
It's imaginative, but
Like I give credit for its creative. It's creative, and I think the people worked very hard on this film. And I give it
people who love this movie, kudos to them. It's just for us, it just didn't click.
And you know what? I tried watching it again. I was bored to tears.
Oof.
And it's just this movie. And listen, again, I think the premise is interesting. Have you ever seen the South Park parody of it, Justin?
I don't
Wait,
think
is that the one with the hoarding?
Yeah, they go, in a dream within a dream within a dream. Please provide me some effects. Okay. Wish, 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 wish. And then they go, just because it's complicated doesn't make it cool. It just makes it stupid. And, like I said, I like the premise, but this movie didn't do much for me. All right. Anybody else for anything with 2010?
We also have The Social Network.
Oh, yes. Social Network.
One of the movies that won, was it which Academy Award was it? I forgot. I forget which Academy Award it won.
If it didn't win for Best Screenwriter writing, then that's a sin because it's an Aaron Sorkin script.
Oh, Sorkin's great too. Let's not deny that.
I've never seen this movie, so I can't speak.
I haven't seen it, but I remember when it was coming out, I was like, oh my God, it's
I would like to watch it because I am a big fan of Aaron Sorkin.
how Facebook came about.
And it feels more like a Sorkin movie than it does a Fincher movie. If that makes sense.
Please explain for us simpletons.
It's more subdued than Fincher's more flashy style.
Now, I would like to watch it because, like I said, I really do like Aaron Sorkin. So,
But it has a really neat framing device of it taking place in an arbitration case.
Yeah, this is one of those movies that I knew about when it came out, but I never saw it. Like I knew the premise. Oh, it's how he created Facebook. He did this.
yeah, I know it's through arbitration because if you're familiar with the channel Legal Eagle, he did about the legal scenes in Social Network. Like the one thing he pointed out, like when Mark Zuckerberg is giving his deposition, he's like, if this was in real life, the clerk would ask him to raise his hand just as if he was testifying in court.
Hmm.
Mm.
But yeah, I've never seen it.
Yeah, I've heard. Did it win? What? I feel like it
It was
won.
nominated. No, did it
Nominated
win
for
Best
something.
Picture or?
No, it didn't win the best picture. I know that. Let's see the. I forget. Hold on one second. Let's look at it for a second here. Uh, Adapted from the Accidental Billionaires. No. Oscar scores. Let's
Best
see.
adapted screenplay,
One
best
in
original score,
3 Oscars. Sorry, it won 3 Oscars. I'm checking IMDb as we
best
record.
editing,
So it was editing.
editing, score, and adapted screenplay.
It was nominated for Best Picture of the Year. There you go. Perfect. Cool. Social America. If you haven't seen it, which we haven't, we might as well just check it out at one point too. It's on like streaming stuff. So yeah. Is that it for 2010? I feel like there was a couple more, no? Oh,
That's all I can think of in this.
I got one more for 2010, and then we can go to 2011 because I feel like there's more in 2011. But and I feel like Justin's gonna back me up with this one. But the Alice in Wonderland movie didn't it agree to make $1 billion? If I'm not
It
mistaken,
did make $1 billion for some
I'm going to bed. Good
reason.
night. God bless.
It was one of the first of like many Disney reboots to come back.
and I remember being like, "What the hell is this?" I remember
I
saying
think you and thousands of other people too.
it just looked.
And was
it
one
Tim?
of the movies that really tried to cash in on the 3D craze that Avatar started.
First you, Avatar.
Avatar.
Oh, I'm gonna be blaming Avatar for a lot of things on this list. I can already tell.
It's like the aftermath of Avatar just I shouldn't say aftermath, but the ripple effect it had on filmmaking. It's like, oh, let's make a giant, really expensive movie that's super visually heavy. Boom, there we go. You know,
And cater it to the Chinese audience.
it's gonna make it gross $1 billion, $2 billion, $3 billion at the box office, which is nuts. I remember the trailers for this. I don't remember much about it, but it looked weird. It was Johnny Depp.
Johnny Depp is the Mad Hatter, Helen Bonham Carter as the Red Queen. You have Anne Hathaway as the White Queen. I can't even remember the girl's name who played Alice. Alan Rickman was the caterpillar. That was kind of cool.
Yeah, there's very, very little I remember about this.
It's not a good movie. First of all, it's not the story of Alice in Wonderland. It takes place after the events of the story of Alice in Wonderland. It's actually Alice is back in Wonderland and she has to kill the Jabberwocky and dethrone the Red Queen.
Oh,
Which I don't think that was ever a part of the Lewis Carroll books. Bill, back me up on this.
Yeah, I don't think that was in the Lewis Carroll books. I never read them. Have you, Justin?
No, but from what I understand, the books were more nonsensical, and the movie just tried to make sense of a nonsensical story.
all right. Bottom line, we've never seen this movie, or it was just very weird to begin with.
I've seen it.
Is this Tim Burton, right?
Yes, this is Tim Burton.
That's what I thought.
I remember I was watching it in a hotel room in Florida. And Justin's thinking, that's oddly specific. But yeah, I watched this. And I was like, and it's just weirdly dark, too.
Yeah, I remember it being very dark.
And it's weird because you would think Tim Burton and Alice in Wonderland would be a marriage made in heaven.
But no.
It sounds like it's not a marriage in heaven. It's a couple that got hitched in Vegas.
And
now the husband's having second thoughts.
And the Tim Burton's not a bad director.
No, he isn't.
Made clear in so many of our videos. But he is a director that needs a good script because he can only elevate with visuals so much.
Correct.
Although his casting decisions can somewhat be questionable too.
Like for all of his movies or just this one?
There's another. We'll get to it later.
Okay. Anything else for 2010? I think we're good, right?
Yeah, I think we're good.
Allie, do you have anything for 2010?
Nope.
All right. Let's go to 2011 for a second. We talked about the Transformers movies. I don't really want to go too in depth with it.
No, I am staging a protest on that.
Although
right.
I want to touch upon the fourth one a little bit when we get to 2014. Just a little.
Wait, is it Transformers Dark in the Moon that you wanted to talk about?
Age of Extinction, actually.
You mean the 2 hour and 45-minute Transformers movie that was like super just the trailers?
I saw it in theaters. Dark
so did I.
I was bored.
I was like, oh my God. Hold on one sec. So where do you want to go first? We're gonna go to which one?
We can talk about Green Lantern.
Oh no, you're right. I'll talk about Thor in a minute, and all that stuff. But yeah, do you remember the promotional? I remember. I don't know why I was watching a football game, and I remember the trailers for Green Lantern coming on too. The trailers were great, but the movie was
ass.
Just like the poo cloud at the very end.
Just don't make it green.
Or animated.
Or animated. Okay, let's touch upon that real quick. Were they? Okay, you know what? On paper, the idea of the suit sort of being this living thing so you can see the energy moving through it, that's kind of a cool idea on paper. In execution, it looks super silly and distracting. And that mask just did not work. Why couldn't they just give Ryan Reynolds a normal green domino mask?
No idea.
That would look so much better on camera.
Remember we talked about this in 2021 when films did a remake or a reboot?
Yes.
That was a while, literally about 3 years ago now. Hard to believe that's 3 years ago that we did that. But this character, I mean, Justin can back me up with this more than I can, but the mythology is so rich.
It is, and it's kind of baffling to me that they would throw Parallax out there in movie 1. That to me is like making Thanos the first Avengers villain.
Yeah. Yeah, no, you're right. In DC terminology, that's the best way to describe it. I thought, man, I remember seeing that. You guys think I'm crazy. I saw this in theaters.
Yeah, I think you're crazy.
It looked cool.
I have seen it.
Okay, you've seen it. All right. It looked really cool. Like I said, I remember watching like a giant. To be honest, for me, it did, and I saw it, and it didn't make any money. And poor Ryan Reynolds, man, he finally redeemed himself with Deadpool, but before that,
yeah, thank God for Deadpool, because yikes,
the dude was struggling with films.
But you know what? Part of me is like, and I'm getting a little bit into the comic books here, JT. Do you really think Ryan Reynolds was the best pick for Hal Jordan? Isn't Hal a little bit more of a hard ass?
I can't even back you up on that. I haven't read a Green Lantern comic in a hot minute, so
Okay. I always thought though Hal Jordan was a bit of a hard ass. That's all.
okay, that's
Maybe that changed recently, but
I cannot justify him as a character, but yeah. So, anyways, but yeah, I mean, I think Ryan Reynolds did the best job he could with the script that they had.
true. And Martin Campbell, the director of this, who's also was the director of Golden Eye and Casino Royale, he basically admitted, "Yeah, my heart was not in this."
Hmm.
Which I'm sorry, if your heart's not in this, why are you doing it? No, don't answer that question. I know the answer. Money, dear boy.
We've got to have.
Money.
I and then it's funny they set up the sequel to it as well with was it Mark the Mark Strong character? I forget the
Again, they did it backwards. They made Parallax the big bad of the first movie, and then they teased Sinestro, which should be the other way around.
who's it? Was Sinestro?
That was Sinestro.
That's right. I'm sorry.
What's wrong with Sinestro?
I forgot. And he was actually in Shazam 2 or Shazam 1. I forget.
He's in a lot of comic book properties.
That's funny. Mark Strong. He's a very
He was the villain in Kick-Ass. He was in
which we'll get to in a little bit too.
the Kingsman movies.
Oh, he was great in
Ooh,
Kingsman
we got to talk about that when we get to that.
2015.
Oh, we are talking about that.
For sure. But yeah, but bottom line, guys, Green Lantern was a flop. I hope that they reboot it and do it right with James Gunn and James Gunn we trust.
Yeah,
right?
they're doing Lanterns now. They have casted Hal Jordan. It's going to be Kyle Chandler.
I heard about this. He's a good fit.
And they are currently casting Jon Stewart.
Wow, so 2 Green Lanterns at once.
Yep,
Is it for the movie or TV show?
it's a show.
Okay,
It's a Max show.
Didn't they say it was gonna be like a buddy cop thing in space kind of thing?
It's based on Earth. It's basically True Detective with Green Lanterns. And it's gonna have like the first big reveal of the larger myth arc that's gonna be in the DCU.
Mm-hmm. Okay, gotcha. But yeah, bottom line, guys, go watch Green Lantern. It's a fantastic. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. We're not going to go there. Anyways, I digress. No, but no, seriously, this is a movie that was meant to open doors and not close them.
Yeah, this was supposed to be the start of the DC cinematic universe.
And look how that went.
Yeah.
Good night.
They were basically following the MCU's model by doing it with a lesser known character first.
Yeah, they were trying to do that and then it failed.
They even introduced Amanda Waller in the movie.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah.
Well, they tried.
They failed. They
And
retried.
We have to talk about Cars too. I'm just kidding. We don't have to.
no. Justin
Wait,
and
the one with the first Captain America movie.
Yes. So yeah, actually, the big comic book movies those years were Thor and Captain America: The First Avenger. I actually like the first Thor a lot. Now, did they go comedic with it? Yes, but the first Thor was it's a very serious movie. It's like a father and son type thing, you know.
I like the Asgard stuff.
That was great. The Earth stuff was like give or take. No,
The Earth stuff was bordering on annoying sometimes.
yeah. And might I, Kenneth Branagh's direction was fantastic for Thor. I think he was a great pick.
Yes.
To direct. And Chris Hemsworth, what could we say? He was in Thor, and then he kind of broke out a little bit more, you know.
And Tom Hiddleston.
Yeah. My one. This is just a nitpick. My one regret that Marvel did not do. You know how they did the song Iron Man by Black Sabbath, and then Iron Man 1. I really wish that they did the song "God of Thunder" by Kiss in the credits of Thor. Just saying, because he's the God of Thunder. There's a song called "God of Thunder" by Kiss off their Destroyer.
All right, JT.
I
Okay.
had, you know me, I had to put that in there. God damn you, Kevin Feige. Damn you for making that
Listen,
mistake.
we would eventually get the Immigrant song in Thor Ragnarok.
Yeah,
Which was awesome.
that was awesome with these.
Which will be discussed later.
Yes,
Well, no, we're not discussing. Oh, wait, no, we are. Never
that was
mind.
20. That was
2017.
Wow, but yeah, Thor 1 was actually really good. I liked it. I saw it in theaters, and that scene where he kicks the Shield agent when Shield was actually a big part of the MCU. Let's be real. When Shield became like I'll never forget this. He did Chris had this jump kick thing with both his feet, and he kicked a guy in the gut. That I actually tried imitating that, and I could never do it. So that's where I got it from them. This movie was actually very entertaining for what it's worth. So I liked it. It really showed Marvel's taking steps and boundaries. Like, oh, we're gonna make a movie about Thor. Really? Like you just said Iron Man 2 like a year before or 2 years before. You know? Like
Which had a tease to this movie in the post-credit scene.
it sure did. And then we set up the Avengers in a couple years.
Which
One of
I'll
those-
be honest, that was actually one of my more favorite post-credit scenes. The one in
Oh,
Iron Man 2.
Absolutely.
Hello,
and
sir. You
what's
found
that?
it. Said hello, sir. We found it.
Yes. Justin's imitating it. And this one actually it's funny. So we talk about Thor, we have to talk about Captain America, the first Avenger. The very first Captain America, a movie that actually I think is a little bit underappreciated by Marvel standards.
Oh, very much so. But I think that has more to do with the fact that the sequels to this movie are
Superior.
on a different level.
Yeah.
I mean, wait till the next one coming out in 2025.
Captain America, Brave New World.
Who's strong and brave here to say? No,
I
okay.
Go ahead, Bill. Go ahead, Bill.
No, but this was the really neat opening. You know what? Because at the end, this was the really big, and I think we can transition to a certain film with this because story was great. It took me a while to actually see the first. I actually saw the second one before I saw the first one. Justin can testify to that.
Oh my God.
I was there when you watched the first one in your basement on your TV. I think before we went to see Infinity War.
Yeah, no, this was in March of 2018.
Yeah, because we were going over all the movies you hadn't seen in the MCU yet.
And no, I think we just got back from Thoroughbreds.
Oh yeah. Oh God.
Oh my God.
That was yeah, we're not here to discuss that.
Not tonight. But
maybe when we get to 2018, we'll see what type of mood we're in. But
yes,
anyway,
another hour.
But anyway, because I have the DVD of when the first one, and at the end it said coming next summer.
I always loved Captain America.
Yeah, the film is. I like the film. I would say he's kind of like Marvel's Superman. What do you think, Justin?
On a morals standard, yeah, but power-wise, he's very much just a guy, a strong guy, fast guy, but he's just a guy.
He's a guy.
He's a dude.
I like dudes. I like people who are dudes and dudettes. I like everyone.
Thank you, Bill. And this is the first time Marvel had a subtitle to their title. Let's not forget that. Captain
Yes.
America, the first Avenger, or then it became Thor: The Dark World. The only one that didn't do it was Iron Man. It was like Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania, or Thor: Ragnarok coming
I mean,
2017.
Guardians of the Galaxy kind of went back to the numbering thing.
Yeah, which I respect that, and we'll talk about that in a couple minutes too.
But no, the film was great. Oh,
Uh,
it was good. God, I can't think tonight. But
it's okay.
we all know this was the real transition too.
Yes, and we'll get to that in 1 second. But I just want to say the ending of this movie for those of you who haven't seen the first Captain America movie, get on it. Because the ending, spoilers, sorry. It's been out for over a decade. I'm pretty sure if you haven't seen it yet, just go watch it. It's great. But the ending, it's he wakes up and he's in 2012 New York, and he's like, I had a date. And then the movie ends. It's just so sad. You know what I mean? It's like,
Yeah.
the movie starts out like him as a loser. He never like really had that much success in life, and then he became Captain America. And the next thing you know, he's like, oh yeah, whatever. Then he was like, I had a date. Last thing I remember was I had a date. It's so sad. And then that kind of ties into Endgame a little bit later on, but he goes back in time and stuff. So that made me cry. Actually, I remember crying in the theater in 2011 when I saw that scene. I was like, oh man, that sucks. Poor guy. Poor Cap. Still a virgin.
Oh my God.
You ever seen that meme? It's like if you feel bad for Cap, he's still a virgin. It's like, what?
You know they referenced that meme in She-Hulk, right?
I did not know that. That's actually pretty funny.
And they finally cemented the fact that Captain America was not a virgin. Slept, he apparently slept with one of the USO girls.
Oh, well. Okay. There's that. So, no, but needless to say, that a fantastic movie, a very underappreciated movie. I'm just gonna say that too. One of my favorites. Um, what else came out in 2011? Just want to make sure we're good. Kung Fu Panda 2, Fast Five. We didn't really touch it. Do you guys even like the Fast and Furious movies or no?
Eh,
Eh.
they're dumb
Okay.
fun.
I don't really care about them personally, but that's right. Oh, well, the last Harry Potter movie came out that year too.
You know what? There's a story I gotta tell you about Harry
You know
Potter.
what? Let's talk about that one because that movie also started a very annoying trend in Hollywood.
Excuse me, you just cut me off.
I'm sorry, Bill. Sorry.
Anyway, no, I gotta. If you watched last week, I have shamefully admitted that I've never seen a Harry Potter movie.
Okay.
I gotta tell you a story though. A couple weeks ago, I was doing something on Sports Insanity Network with my good friend Mark Halpern
Mm-hmm.
and his daughter Charlotte. And we were going through baseball cards, and one of the cards had a name similar that was to a Harry Potter character, and he said, "Think Hogwarts." And I said, you know what? I'm gonna catch flack for this. I've never seen a Harry Potter movie. And Charlotte, Mark's daughter, is looking at me like I just ate the last brownie. Like she's giving me the look.
You've never? That's all right.
She's like, she's not saying anything, and she's 10. She's 10, and
It's like telling you that someone's never seen The Godfather. I'm just saying.
exactly. I think no. I think that Justin, you're exactly right.
It's a good comparison.
You're exactly right. Or you when somebody says they've never seen an MCU movie.
Like this look.
We'll go over the looks later. We got a bunch of years to get through, so
Up until 2020. 2019, you know what I mean? No, but this one I remember seeing in theaters. I saw all of them in theaters until they ended. But this one was, my God, the ending. I'm not gonna spoil it, but it made me cry. I was crying a lot like after the fact of it too. The very end of it.
This was my first midnight screening.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
You are a wild man. You're a wild man, Justin.
Okay, so what was that trend in Hollywood, Justin?
Splitting movies into two parts.
Kill Bill 1 and Kill Bill 2. Harry Potter and Deathly Hallows Part 1 and Part 2.
Okay, but when Kill Bill did that, it didn't catch on. When Harry Potter did it
It caught
and
on.
made a shit ton of money, it caught on. Breaking Dawn, Part 1 and 2.
Oh,
No, we're not
Twilight.
discussing Twilight. We're not discussing it.
Mockingjay, Part 1 and 2.
Hunger Games.
50 Shades did not do this.
50 Shades. You're funny.
You forgot Twilight.
No, he said Breaking Dawn.
You did.
Yes, I did.
The Infinity War Endgame is a part 1, part 2.
Yeah, but they very well could have ended it with Infinity War and left so many people traumatized.
They would have been traumatized for sure.
I would have laughed my ass off if they ended up doing that, and I would respect them.
Word. Word. That's all I have to say is word. No, but you're right though. This really set the trend in Hollywood of like, you could do a part 1, part 2 of a franchise film, and like even like the last was it Mockingjay at Hunger Games. That was the
Yeah,
last one, right?
Mockingjay was part 1 too.
Part one and two.
Worst offender is probably The Hobbit.
Oh, The Hobbit, with Battle of the Five Armies and what was the second
The
one?
movie that was originally supposed to be 2 movies, which I still think is a little excessive,
Oh my God, I saw the Battle of the Five Armies in theaters.
and then got split into 3 movies.
The Desolation of Smog.
Oh no, it wasn't Smaug. It was Smaug. Battle. Oh,
It was Unexpected Journey,
oh yeah,
Desolation of Smaug, and then the Battle of Five Armies.
yeah, the prequels to Lord of the Rings.
They wanted a trilogy. So they split it up into 3 movies. They added a shit ton of stuff that they really didn't need in the movie. That wasn't even in the book. Like, did we really need to know what Gandalf was doing while they were making their way to Rivertown? Do we really need to have a romance between one of the dwarves and one of the elves? Just why?
I guess we're talking about The Hobbit really quick.
No, that didn't come out till 2012, though, right?
No, I think the first one was 2011.
Unexpected Journey?
Let's see. Hold on one sec. Unexpected Journey was. Indeed, it was 2012. That's the first one. So
Okay.
all right. We'll jump into 2012 now.
Okay. What are we starting with?
The Hobbit. We're taking the Hobbits to Isengard.
Wait.
The Hobbit.
Oh, never mind.
Okay.
Continue.
The Hobbit, the Hobbit, the Hobbit, the Hobbit. I actually did not see this one.
I saw all 3 of these in theaters with
You are crazy, but go on.
an old friend of mine from high school. I don't know. We just made a little tradition of seeing the Hobbit movies together. It was weird. But so all 3 of them. The first one I kind of liked. It had the battle of riddles between Bilbo and Gollum, which was a lot of fun to see. I just think the movies were, if they weren't going to tell the whole story in one movie, these movies were too long.
How long? What is the runtime of each one without the extended cut?
I think they're like 2.5 to
It says 2 hours and 49 minutes right here for
Oh
the
my
first.
god!
You sat there for almost 3 hours watching this?
Yes.
You are.
Now keep in mind, folks, the Hobbit book is 300 pages long.
That's ridiculous. That's unhealthy. Like, that's a lot of sitting, guys.
You're. I really think this could have been a movie, maybe two. If you like make two 2 hour 15-minute movies, I think that would have been plenty.
So, just for those of you keeping track of them, the Unexpected Journey is 2 hours and 49 minutes. Desolation of Smag was 2 hours and 41 minutes. That was 2013. I'm jumping ahead for a sec. Bear with me. And then the Battle of the Five Armies, which is one I saw in theaters, that was 2 hours and 24 minutes. All right, so it progressively got shorter, but still, that's just like unheard. I mean, they're the
And
books.
that's the unextended cuts.
Oh my God, you're right. Someone can pinch me. I'm having an aneurysm. Like, it's so much to cover. How long was the Lord of the Rings book? You know what I mean? Like, that's
Lord of the Rings was long
okay. Well,
and
that
broken
makes
up
sense.
into 3 parts. Like
That makes sense. That makes sense.
that makes sense. The Hobbit, it's 300 pages long. It's a children's book, first of all. And the first 20 minutes of the first movie spent creating the framing device of Bilbo writing down his life story, and Frodo is bugging Bilbo and all this crap.
Dildo Baggins. Someone had to say it. I'm sorry. It was just itching to come out of my mouth. That's what she said. No, but in all seriousness, though, like these are really long movies for a short book, which is normally it's the other way around. It's a long book and a short story, a short movie. But like The Notebook, you know what I mean? So, anything else for The Hobbit?
No, that's it.
Queen and
I'm
anything for The
clutch.
Hobbit? Okay. So that was we kind of covered the Hobbit like trilogy. Really, we don't have to go that much further. Oh wait, when did was it 2011 or no? I think it was 2012.
I think we are. Then we transitioned to 2012.
Yeah, we're in
No,
2012 now.
I'm talking about the movie Gravity. I'm trying to think when that came
Oh,
out.
That's
2013.
2013.
Thank you. All right, we'll get that in a little bit. I wasn't sure. That was a visual masterpiece, sort of. We're still in 2012. Let's check it out really quick.
Still, okay. You know what we got to talk about.
I mean, Madagascar 3, Europe's Most Wanted. I'm just kidding.
Men in Black 3.
I staged
Oh,
content was
Spider-Man.
right.
Dun, 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 dun.
We have to talk about one of the greatest movies of all time. One of the most defining
You know
movies
what
of
it
my
is?
childhood.
Because with Marvel, because with Marvel, we talked about this last week, how they teased it at the end of Iron Man.
Yep, the first Iron Man.
But
And
no one really thought they would follow through with it.
no, because
Oh,
you remember
but
at the
they
end,
did.
you see Nick Fury and he goes, I want to talk to you about joining my team.
The Avengers Initiative.
And, at first thinking, okay, are they going to do it? Are they not? But, what
Right.
I was saying with, at the end of, Captain America, the First Avenger, and Samuel L. Jackson shows up, and then it says, coming next summer.
The Avengers.
So you remember that thing that we teased?
Oh no! Do you remember that you say like Captain America will return in the Avengers at the very end of the movie, or like Thor will return in the Avengers? Do you remember at the very, very, very end of the post credits?
Yep.
When they were saying, remember that thing that we teased? Like, are we going to do it or are we not? Because guess what? We're doing it. Like, Marvel went freaking balls to the wall and said, that thing we were going to tease, yeah, guess what? We're doing
Here
it.
it is.
And my
And
God, did they do it?
I remember seeing this movie not on opening night, but on opening day. I was with Justin.
Yes.
And I think you remember my favorite part from that.
I am a god, you dull creature. I will not be bullied by. Oh,
Uni God.
Uni God.
That was one of the. I could still hear the audience laughing in my head.
Yeah, and remember
oh
the
that was
audience
an applause
applauded.
moment.
I am a god, you dull creature.
That and of course, Banner, I think this is about a good time for you to get angry between you and me.
That's my secret.
That's my
Cap.
secret cap. I'm
always
always angry.
Oh, just one of the. I just wanted. Let me butt in for a sec. This is in my top 10 favorite movies of all time. Just for the pure enjoyment of a movie, for the pure enjoyment of cinema. This is in my top 10 of all time. Not my favorite, but it's in my top 10. The very first Avengers movie. Because it's like the perfect rendition of a superhero movie. It's like the perfect premise, the perfect everything about it. What's not to love?
And people went absolutely nuts when they saw this.
It was the highest grossing movie of 2012.
Yeah. And also a comparison of another superhero movie that came out, which I'm sure we'll be talking about very briefly.
Yes, in a second or two.
But I gotta say, this film, I enjoy. Hey, Justin, I have an army.
We have a
You have
Hulk.
a Hulk.
Ooh, but you know what the best part?
What?
This is the shawarma.
I wouldn't get
shawarma. I forgot.
shawarma.
After this movie, the demand for shawarma
Why not?
skyrocketed.
So funny because I was just craving shawarma today and just thinking about this movie.
Fantastic.
This wasn't just a movie. This was an event.
It was an event. It was more because Marvel's taking all the characters they put
This
in
is
all
what
these movies.
2012 was supposed to feel like.
What a
Like it
great
was
time.
going to be the end of the world. Remember? It was supposed to be the end of the world.
But no, the Avengers came out and they saved the day.
We all remember that stupid Mayan thing that people.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well,
Spoiler alert, it was bullshit.
Yeah, I saw the Roland Emmerich movie.
You saw the 2012 movie, 2012.
But
That's
anyway,
so stupid, Justin. It's gonna die.
but anyway, who could not love this movie?
Some people don't. I've read IMDb comments that gave it a 1 out of 10. I'm like, you're a fucking idiot.
There are two types of people in this world: people who love the Avengers and people we pray for.
and people
Son,
you need
just
Jesus. Exactly. Son, just
They're beyond saving, aren't they, Justin?
I can't wait for the next Avengers movie. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. All right.
Doomsday.
Whilst we're on the topic of comic book movies,
We have to talk about Avengers 2. No, I'm just kidding. Kidding.
another comic book movie that came out that year,
The Dark Knight
Rises. And
The last movie in the Dark Knight trilogy. That was actually decent. Let's be real.
you know what? I'm going to be honest.
You didn't like it.
No, I liked it. I will say I think this was the weakest of the trilogy,
Agreed.
but I still think it was. All right, Ali had to give us the old Irish goodbye, so down to the three of us.
And
But
then number 3. But go on.
I still think it ended the trilogy well.
I agree. The bat scene at the very end too was great.
So basically, you're calling this the Return of the Jedi of Dark Knight movies.
I think that,
the Return of the Jedi.
you know what, like my favorite scene was when he comes back, when Batman comes back, and they do the light stick, and then Bane's like, impossible.
Bane was so
I
stupid.
thought I broke him.
That's actually not bad.
Thank you, Justin.
So you come to die with your city.
Perhaps he's wondering what you shoot him on instead of throwing him out of a plane.
Ah, yes. I was wondering what would be first. The spirit or the body?
And you know what it is? It
Fava
really
beans.
shows you that even though the Joker isn't in this movie, he still had an effect on all this.
Yeah, which part of me was a little disappointed that the second movie felt so separate from the first and third, but you're absolutely right. The Joker really did have an effect on everything. The whole Harvey Dent law would never have happened unless the Joker happened. Um, I remember when I was in college, I was trying to come up with this theory that the Joker was actually in the League of Shadows as well to connect him more with the other two movies. Which I still see some merit in, I'll be honest.
But and I think and they threw, okay, and I gotta say this, people have probably been wondering this for years. JGL is in it, Joseph Gordon-Levitt as Officer Blake. But then at the end they say, I like your real name, you should use it, which is
Robin.
and people go, ooh, is that Robin? Is that Robin?
No, it was not.
There was rumors going around, oh, there's gonna be a Teen Titans movie and JGL's gonna be Robin.
Or Nightwing.
Or
Or
Nightwing. That
Nightwing.
was a dumb rumor.
Listen,
Or even Batman.
Christopher Nolan even said Robin will never be in my movie.
And also, Christopher Nolan went on record numerous, and I mean numerous times afterwards, and he said, "Look, I made a beginning, a middle, and an end. I made a trilogy of films, and I made a series of films that will forever go down as one of the greatest, one of the best trilogies of all time,
But
for sure. Regardless how you feel about it, it's still a solid trilogy."
but you want to know, and I'm about to do something very strange. I'm comparing this to the Avengers for a minute because I just said because when this first came out, I liked this more than the Avengers. Maybe because I'm just a Batman fan and I was showing my bias. But you know what? It's one of those movies that every time I watched the Avengers, it just got better and better.
Where this you just see more and more of the flaws.
Exactly. But every time I watched The Dark Knight Rises, I just saw more and more of the flaws. Like when I first saw it, I was like having a giant nerdgasm. Like, oh my God, this movie was so great.
Was it though? You know what I mean? So
Like I would have
It's good.
because this was before I got into being a movie critic.
Before you came on this podcast.
I probably would have put it Dark Knight Rises at number 1 at first as my top movie of 2012, and maybe Avengers at 2 or 3. But after seeing Dark Knight Rises and Avengers, I probably would put Avengers at number 1. Because again, every time I saw the Dark Knight Rises, I just saw more of the flaws. But every time I just saw the Avengers, it just got better and better. Like, how the hell did Bruce Wayne get back to Gotham?
Because he's Batman.
Exactly.
No, keep him keep him coming, Bill. I'll just keep answering because he's Batman.
I swear to God, Justin.
That's
Superman.
everyone's argument.
Because he's Batman. Because he's the Dark Knight.
What's your superpower again? I'm rich.
Oh, we'll get to that. Don't worry. But anyway, yeah, so Dark Knight Rises. There was a lot of movies in 2012. Anything else we should get to, or
I think we're Skyfall. Did you think you guys see it or no? I haven't seen
I
it.
did in theaters.
Yeah, of course I've seen Skyfall. It's been years, but
The best Daniel Craig Bond movie.
I vividly remember that last act, which was
Don't spoil it. I haven't seen it.
insane.
Okay. Good to know. Good to know. I gotta watch a bunch of.
And
I gotta see more Bond.
and I'll say this: some people see it as a criticism of James Bond, of the spy genre that it used to be back in its more campy days. I see it as almost more of a defense because there were moments in the movie where it's doing the what you expect yellow spandex sort of thing, but for gadgets. Like, what are
Okay.
you expecting? An exploding pen? But like the Aston Martin's in this, like you eventually get more and more of the Bondisms as the movies go along. And I think this was the start of that. And it's probably the best of the Daniel Craig Bond movies.
That's what I need to know because I haven't seen Skyfall. I've wanted to so bad. I just haven't had the time to sit down and watch it. So, how long is it, by the way? Oh, it's 2 hours and 23 minutes. That's not bad. 2 hours 23. It's not too bad at all.
And Ray Fiennes is great in this.
Oh, I'm sure. And he's one of the best to out there too.
You've seen the ones after this, right?
Yes, I saw. Oh, was it Spectre and No Time to Die? Yes.
Okay, so you know that Ray Fiennes becomes the new one.
Yes. Yes. Correct.
Okay, gotcha.
So, no worries. I think that's it for 2012. Should we go over 2013? I mean, there's Twilight. There was the Amazing Spider-Man film.
Bill, do you have this one?
I have to tell the story, don't I?
Yes. Yes, you do.
12 years and 12 years, and you're not going to let me forget this, are you?
Never.
Okay, when I first heard there was going to be a reboot, I downright refused to watch it. Because I loved the Raimi movies growing up. They kind of have sentimental value to me. But I said when they said they were going to reboot, I said I'm not going to watch this. I'm taking a moral stance. And then I went on a college radio show and I said the movie sucked and I didn't see it.
Wah, wah.
And you know what, folks, here's an important lesson. Don't make a judgment about a movie until you actually see it.
Thank you.
True.
And then Justin loves this part. And then I actually saw it.
And
I ended up really liking it.
there you go.
And I ended up really liking it. And I think this was a good, for the beat of the web series, no pun intended. And I think this was going for a more, would you say, realistic type Spider-Man, Justin, or
More naturalistic, I think.
because I always say I thought Tobey Maguire was the better Peter Parker, Andrew Garfield was the better Spider-Man,
Yes.
and I think Tom Holland does both of them good.
Yeah.
But yes, not one of my finest hours.
So, Bill, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
And I'm going to ask it here since we are not going to do a 2020s episode. Who are you more excited to see in Spider-Man No Way Home? Toby or Andrew?
That's a good question. I was happy to see both of them, but I think I was more excited to see Toby. Because, that was the one I grew up with. So I think I was more happy to see Toby, but I was happy to see Andrew as well. What about you, Justin?
Personally, I think Andrew, because I think he was really done dirty with with how they handled the Amazing series.
But but how they started the Amazing series was actually pretty interesting because they did have they did have another Spider-Man movie planned, but I think after Spider-Man 3, and I think there was something in the contracts that they had to that they had to release a new Spider-Man movie like every couple years, am I right?
Yep.
And they either said do a sequel, reboot the franchise, or you lose the rights.
Basically.
Like if they didn't reboot, like they could have lost the rights. Sony could have lost the rights.
Basically, what happened was Sam Raimi was not happy with any of the scripts he was being delivered, and he did not want to deliver a Spider-Man movie that was no less than great. So he went to Amy Pascal's office and said, "Listen, I don't want to do a movie unless it's no less than great, and I don't think I can deliver a movie on time right now. So go ahead with your reboot that I know you're already planning." And Amy Pascal was like, "Thank you for not wasting our resources, and we wish you well."
And you know what? You got to give Sam Raimi credit. That was very big of him.
Yeah.
Because again, there's either sequel, reboot, or you lose the rights.
Yeah.
And yeah, but yeah, of course, what happened afterwards was the Sony hacks, right? In the Amazing.
That was after Amazing Spider-Man 2.
Yeah, well, maybe we'll talk about that.
Oh, we will.
Okay. So anyway, anything else for 2012? Because there was a lot of good movies.
I think we're good for 2012.
Ted was good.
That was fun.
We can just mention them in brief passing.
I would, but we're only an hour 15 in, and we've only done up to 2012. So
Let's go to
Okay.
2013.
Let's skip the MCU for 2013 because it's only Iron Man 3 and Thor the Dark World.
Okay.
We can touch upon Man of Steel.
Okay.
good boy.
'Cause- Okay, come on. Man of Steel wasn't that bad.
It
Okay,
was great.
listen. I don't hate the movie, but I just found the first half of this movie so boring.
See, I didn't find it boring. I found it interesting. I actually found the second half to be a little excessive.
I think once he got the suit on, I think that's when things started getting good. But like, listen, are my complaints with Man of Steel is what everyone else's complaints are?
No.
No, and like,
Probably
listen,
not.
I don't get angry over when you know what?
Superman snaps Zod's neck.
Yes. Well, or like when earlier when Papa Kent said you shouldn't have done that. I shouldn't have saved the bus. He goes, what was I supposed to do? Let him die? I goes, I don't know. And like people, oh, so Papa Kent just told them to let them die.
No, he doesn't know what to tell him. It's not a simple situation.
He's just telling him that he's gonna have to make some tough choices. And which can And what people can get when he snapped Zod's neck, that frames back to that. He had to make a tough situation. He had to make a tough call. And you know what? But people just overreacted about that. What do you think, Justin?
Okay. I understand the outrage. I understand it. Because Superman does have this no-kill rule, same as Batman. In fact, I think his no-kill rule is even more unbreakable than Batman's. Because Superman's one of those people who sees all life is sacred. He sees the bigger picture of life. If you ever read All-Star Superman, you would kind of get a better picture of that. But this Zack Snyder has gone on record saying that when he's told that he can't do something with a character, it makes him want to do it even more. You can't have Superman kill, you can't have Batman kill. But it's cool.
I think people who are over obsessed over that just need to know this. It is an adaptation. Shit is going to change. Get over it.
And it's not going to be, it's not the first adaptation. It's not going to be the last adaptation. And feel like this version of Superman or Batman, there's plenty of others.
Exactly. All right.
I love this movie. I'm just saying that.
All right. What do you love about it?
Everything. I think the visuals were incredible. I think the storytelling was very great.
Mixed.
I think Henry Cavill was the perfect fit for Superman at the time.
Good. He was good.
I gave this movie like a 9.5 out of 10 when it came out.
That's a little high.
I would give it a 7. I think the dialogue's pretty clunky.
I've gone down to about an 8. I actually have this. I have the steel tin collector set over there. So.
Oh, I have the Blu-ray of this movie.
We got to do a commentary on this now, don't we?
One day we will.
I do think the dialogue is a little clunky, a little self-important at times, a little over-expositive at other times.
So,
because Justin, you know what it has?
what?
Moonray!
All right.
Anyways, let's go 2014.
Oh, wait, we got some stuff for 2013.
Got
you got
Gravity, which
Gravity.
I think you wanted to talk about.
I didn't. I remember it coming. I never saw it though.
Oh, I saw this in IMAX.
And what'd you think of it?
So, I was told that the optimal way to experience this movie was sitting in the first few rows in the front in an IMAX theater.
Okay.
It's big. It's spacious. It's vertigo inducing. It's thrilling. It's a movie made for movie theaters, though. Like, it does not have the same effect at home.
All right. I never seen it, so there's another 2013 movie I'd like to discuss.
Which one?
Oh, come on, Justin.
Oh.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite movies.
I've yet to see it.
Yeah, JT, why haven't you seen it?
Jeez, JT, we gotta sit you down and just watch movies, man.
You're telling me.
But this film was
How long was it?
It's like 3 hours, but it's worth
It is
every
a
second.
3-hour movie, granted, but it is never boring.
Hey,
Didn't
hey,
it
Justin, was all of this legal?
Absolutely not.
But we were making more money than what we could do with. And listen, the movie got nominated for Best Picture, and Leonardo DiCaprio should have won for this.
Instead, it was Matthew McConaughey.
All right. And this movie should have won Best Picture. But unfortunately, there were some people who had a stick up their ass about the movie. Oh my God, there's too much. I don't know if it was the Academy screening or critic screening. People walked out because they said there were too many F-bombs in this movie.
I think they were approaching the limit to how many F-bombs they could include in this movie.
I think we got to stop being such prudes about languages in films, Justin. What do you think?
Honestly, yeah.
People, it's 2024. Time to grow up. It's time to grow up. Just because someone says a naughty word doesn't mean they're bad people.
Usually.
Like, my God, but you know, my favorite part is when he's on the Quaaludes and he goes to the club to get the phone, and then the Quaaludes start kicking into.
And I skipped way to a new phase I didn't even know existed.
The
cerebral palsy stage.
I just want to say that I actually do have a friend with cerebral palsy, and we're not making fun of people with that, but that's the line in the movie. We're not. Am I right, Justin? We're not making fun of people with that.
Here's the thing. That's a joke that, yes, it's funny, but it's one of those jokes that you kind of feel bad for laughing at.
It is one of those. It is one of those jokes.
Which partly makes it even funnier.
I would say just look at the joke in its context.
Yeah.
We're not saying go poke fun at somebody with cerebral palsy. If you do, you're a shitty human being. You are a shitty human being if you do that. Am I right?
Yeah, don't make fun of people with who are differently abled.
Please don't do that. And sorry, I'm going on a soapbox. I just wanted to clarify something. We didn't want people to think we're making fun of people with disabilities.
No, it's fine. I just want to make it clear. I do like offensive humor. I just think that it needs to really be funny.
You just got to look at the joke in its context.
Exactly.
And I don't think they were trying to make fun of people with that condition. I think they were just saying, this is what happens when you take Quaaludes. But anyway, or goes, I'll crawl like Skylar. Damn it, the kid makes it look so easy. But this is a film that's just so. And of course, the yacht scene.
God.
My God, this movie. This is I love this movie. One of my favorites, but I have to admit, it's a movie I kind of feel bad for liking because it's so.
Audacious.
Yes. JT has not seen it. Justin, what do we say to that?
Boo.
Shame.
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 Looks like I know what I'm doing tomorrow night.
Oh, yeah.
So.
Okay, so. And by the way, Justin, one more thing. Sell me this pen.
Okay. What's your name?
I don't have anything to write it with.
There you go.
Supply and demand.
Oh, my friend.
Justin and I could just sit here and quote this movie all night. Can't wait.
I'm sure you can.
Okay. All right. Anything else for 2013 or?
I think we're good.
Oh, we don't have to mention that certain Disney animated film, do we? We don't have to. Do we?
Let it go. I'm just kidding.
No.
I haven't even seen it, so let's not even go there. All right.
I have.
Is it
I
good?
have two.
It's fine.
Eh,
So it's Frozen 4, right? Oh
I can
wait,
take it or
no,
leave
I'm
it.
just kidding. Anyways,
all right. Is it time to go to 2014?
Frozen 4 coming 2028. Kidding.
Oh, 2014. So many movies came out that year.
A lot
We
of
didn't
them.
start the fire. There were so many movies we can't even explain to you. We didn't start the fire.
Let's hit the big ones.
Okay.
Okay, you had Captain America: Winter Soldier. You had Guardians of the Galaxy. Those are your two Marvel movies for the year. You
And
had
you had X-Men Days of Future Past and Spider-Man 2 from Sony and Fox, but still, so.
yes, and
Oh,
Sony. We need to talk about it a little more in depth because 2014 was the year of the infamous Sony Pictures hack, where apparently North Korea hacked into Sony's emails and released all this information. Um, it indicated that they were planning on doing an Aunt May movie.
oh yeah, I remember that.
Um, it indicated why no one thought a female superhero movie would be successful, and they kept citing Elektra and Catwoman as examples.
The Spider-Man shared universe idea. I remember that was rampant online.
Yep. They
An
were
Aunt May
apparently
movie
working on a Sinister Six movie,
and a Venom movie. Well, we got that, but
the Venom movie we got. Um, they were apparently planning a 21 Jump Street Men in Black crossover movie.
I remember that too. That would have been crazy. So we'll see about that still, but who knows? This is all in the Sony X. So which movie did you want to start with?
Um,
Let's start where all things should start with Interstellar. Interstellar 2 coming to go back into the portal. Another movie that I wanted to see that I didn't see.
I haven't seen all of it.
It's a long movie, right?
Yeah.
Another Nolan epic film with Matthew McConaughey and Anne Hathaway again. Again.
Yep.
I had to touch on this one. Let's go rapid fire for because we're only in 2014. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see. Was I forgot? Oh wow! I did I see this one? I forgot if I saw the Planet of the Apes movie. I know we touched on the original Planet of the Apes back in the 60s. This is the sequel to the
Bill, wasn't
Rise.
this like one of your favorite movies of 2014?
The second Planet of the Apes movie they did?
Yeah.
Bill, I can't hear you for whatever reason.
I loved this movie.
Oh, okay. Apes Together Strong.
Apes together strong. This movie, didn't you like this, Justin? Or
I actually never saw this one.
you haven't?
Oh.
Oh, come on, bro.
Wow.
Hey, listen, you haven't seen Harry Potter, okay?
Okay, that's fair.
The Rise of the Dawn of the War of the King of the Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. Anyways.
Apes together strong.
Caesar. With Woody Harrelson.
I loved. I really
Woody
did.
Harrelson was in War, not Dawn.
Sorry. War was great too. Oh my God.
But war, what is it good for?
Absolutely nothing.
Say it again.
Planet of the Apes. That was a great movie. What else came out in 2020? I had to touch on it because it was there.
All right. Go to
Um,
20. We talked about Guardians of the Galaxy, right?
we brought it up.
All right. Let's go to 20. You guys want to go to 2015?
You want to?
Justin?
Uh,
Do you want to talk about
sure.
like just do you want to rapid fire a couple of Oscar films or no?
Sure.
All right, really, really, really quick.
Oh, there was the Grand Budapest Hotel.
I remember that Grand Budapest Hotel. I didn't see that one, but I remember when it came out. This is when I was really paying attention to a film very closely. But Grand Budapest Hotel is one of
It's a
them.
very quirky film, but it's enjoyable.
How could we forget about Birdman?
Oh yeah, Birdman. That movie was nuts.
I didn't see it in theaters, but I saw it for film class. The director was like, I still to this day wonder how he did the editing.
Oh, they had to have blocked that movie for months before actually shooting.
Okay. And Keaton won the Oscar for that, right?
I think he did. Yeah.
I forgot offhand. Oh, there was one more I wanted to touch on really quick. Oh, a movie that I am kind of scared to see. I can't believe I'm saying those words, but Whiplash.
You know who loves this movie?
Dr. Matt Hemsley.
Dr. Matt Hemsley.
Dr. Matt Hemsley loves Whiplash.
Okay. I
I
want to
haven't.
watch it too, but I've never gotten around to it.
It's. I've heard really great things about this movie, and I've yet to see it.
Yeah. I've seen bits of it.
Okay, gotcha. I heard it's an electrifyingly. J.K. Simmons is probably his best of all time in this. So,
Oh,
but yeah,
yeah,
had to
he's
touch on it.
fantastic.
Had to touch on it in this one. Yeah, there's just a couple rapid fire ones. You want to go into? Do you guys want to go to 2015 now?
Yeah, let's
Yeah.
go to 2015.
All right, 2015 in film. Let's see right here. What was all right? Well, we have to touch on those. A couple of these at least. We could probably literally just touch on like out of the 10 of these here on this list that I have in front of me, we could probably touch about like
So
7
2015
of them.
was the year we got Star Wars back, for better or worse.
The Force Awakens.
This was the
I
start of the Disney era of Star Wars.
a movie that I still enjoy to this day. Was it the greatest thing ever? No, but I enjoyed it.
See, I enjoyed it when it came out, but The Rise of Skywalker really burned me on.
Oh, I didn't like that either.
Yeah. No, and we've talked about I don't want to go into that because we've talked about what went wrong with the sequels anyways.
Yeah.
We've gone in depth with it before. But yeah, with the return of Star Wars to cinema. The return of Star Wars. It was not a bad movie. It was not a great movie.
I remember I saw it with you, and you saw it, and that was the second time you saw it with me. You saw it with your dad first. Remember, Justin?
I do remember that.
And you wouldn't tell me if you liked it or not until you saw it with me.
Yep.
You got to keep me in suspense, don't you?
Hmm.
We had to touch on that. Also, this is the year that a lot of films returned to cinema too, like a lot of franchises.
Star Wars.
Jurassic World, not Rebirth. That's
Yeah.
the new one talking about, but the actual
I remember this movie made $500 million in its first weekend.
the anticipation was through the roof.
Oh
That's
yeah,
crazy.
the park was open.
And that's a fresh new take. And the director, Colin Trevorrow, did a fantastic job with it, in my opinion, because the park was open finally.
Uh, I'll say this: the characters were not great.
They were
No.
boring.
Chris Pratt did his best, no?
That's acting. I'm talking about how they were written.
Well, who wrote the script? I think he wrote the script. No, Colin? Did Colin write it?
I think Trevorrow worked on the script. Yeah.
Okay. I had to touch on this one because this is like the return of one of the most beloved franchises to theaters, and the park was open.
The park was open.
Or one movie.
And the hype was real.
The hype was real, buddy. Let's see. Oh, Furious 7. I could care less. I know everyone was buzzing about that one because Paul Walker died, and like, oh, how are they gonna finish the movie? And then they saw it, they're like, oh, whatever. So
But Mad Max. That was this year
true.
too.
I forgot about that. That was a great. I saw this. This was great.
Oh yeah.
This was really great.
I haven't seen it, so. Okay, I'm not getting shamed. That's good.
No, you're good.
All right, next.
Two MCU movies this year with Age of Ultron and Ant-Man.
I'll be honest, Age of Ultron of the Avengers movie, this one's just forgettable.
It's the weakest of the four, but
Mhm.
I think that speaks more to the strengths of the other three than anything else. This was just a sequel to the first one, where Infinity War and Endgame, those were culmination films of the entire MCU.
Mhm.
But this movie did set the stage for some much better movies down the line.
It really did. It really
It-
brought up good.
So after Age of Ultron, we got Ant-Man.
Which a film I still enjoy to this day.
Yeah, it's good.
The Thomas the Tank Engine scene had me rolling.
And of course, Luis is amazing.
Yes.
Let's see what else came out in 2015.
Hunger Games Part 2. Mission Impossible Rogue Nation. Inside Out.
Ooh, that was a good one.
I have a funny story to tell about Inside Out.
Sure, let's hear it.
I'll make it quick because we're only halfway through the decade. I took a girl on a date to go see this movie when it was already before it was in theaters. Like, I'm not disclosing where we are, those who listen to us or follow us or whatever. But there was a time where movies would go into regular theaters and then it would go to like the $2 theater, like in our. I'm not telling you where we are, but like it's the movie was in theaters first, and then it was released into secondary theaters afterwards. And I took a girl to go see this movie on our as my first date ever, and we saw Inside Out, and yeah, it was a really great. I'm not going to disclose the specifics of it, but it was a really good first date for me and this girl, and I saw Inside Out for the first time in that theater, and because it wasn't like a Regal, it wasn't like an AMC. It was just in a movie theater that was like very like it was in a movie theater like it was kind of like your last chance to see it before it like leaves theaters permanently kind of thing.
Yeah.
And yeah, and it was great. So that was my First date ever. So fun fact for me. Fun fact for all you ladies out there. I am single. So someone had to say it at that point. No, but this is a great movie. I really enjoyed Inside Out, actually, truthfully. Yeah. So great stuff. One of the highest grossing movies of the year too, at $858 million worldwide. What else we
And the
got?
sequel trampled that.
And the sequel did a lot better.
Oh, absolutely.
They got a good thing going with Inside Out too, man. So we didn't see it, but I mean,
I did.
okay. Where's our out of theater reaction? I'm just kidding. I'm busting your balls. So, anyways, Inside Out, Pixar's return to not return to fame, but like just what made them even better. Spectre, James Bond was back. You want to touch on that? Or-
I saw that movie on a date.
Good for you. Did you like it?
Yeah, I thought it was okay.
I thought it was kind of silly.
It wasn't as good as. This is actually my first Bond movie I ever saw.
Really?
Yes. With Christoph Waltz.
Hey, Christoph Waltz is awesome because he's Christoph Waltz.
Exactly.
So, fun fact about Spectre. The reason why we hadn't seen Spectre as a villain to James Bond since the Sean Connery era is because technically the rights to Spectre were owned by a guy named Kevin McClory, who wrote Thunderball with Ian Fleming.
Okay.
It was conceived as a movie before it was conceived as a book. So McClory wrote the screenplay. Fleming wrote the book. Ultimately, McClory owned the rights to Thunderball, which introduced Spectre.
Okay.
And then there was this huge rights issue. And it was eventually decided, okay, McClory has the rights to Thunderball. But Eon Productions basically has the rights to everything else that Fleming wrote. But Thunderball is all his. And because of that rights issue, they couldn't use Spectre anymore. Until I think McClory's passing recently.
Okay.
And then the rights to Thunderball reverted back to Eon. And then they greenlit Spectre.
All right. Good to know. This has been your history lesson tonight from Justin.
And also, that is why Never Say Never Again, it's essentially a remake of Thunderball. Because McClory was just trying to remake Thunderball.
Good to know. I think that's it for 2015, right, guys?
Pretty much, yeah.
Let's go over to 2016, the year that had so many high-grossing movies and some of the best movies of the year too. Let's talk about a couple of them. We did Captain America: The First Avenger. You want to talk about Civil War at all, or no?
Well, we could briefly touch upon it. I think a lot of people call this movie Avengers 2.5.
Which basically is because it is a response to what happened in Avengers 2.
Yes.
And it features most of the Avengers. Plus some new characters.
Yep. Plus Spider-Man.
And it's a much better movie. Some people say this movie is better than Winter Soldier, making the Captain America trilogy a perfect trilogy. Others will stand their ground and say that Winter Soldier is better. I'm on the fence, honestly. I can go either way.
Okay. That's pretty much Civil War. Rogue One, the first ever Star Wars spin-off movie.
And probably the only good one.
Arguably, yeah.
I mean, my God, it was the first Star Wars movie that felt like a war movie.
I agree.
I remember when I first came out, I wasn't really too crazy about it, but it was cool.
It showed how the rebels stole the plans to the Death Star.
And that last battle was like
So good.
it,
And
it was it was like
we
Star Wars is Saving Private Ryan.
Literally.
we see basically we see Vader the sociopath.
Yes. We
The
did.
Vader, the force of nature.
Because he was.
I have a friend of mine.
Insane.
I have a friend of mine. This is his favorite Star Wars movie. Favorite one.
Really?
His words, not mine.
I mean, I can see the argument being made. I wouldn't go that far because
Yeah.
there are some things that don't age well.
Like what?
The face replacement for Grand Moff Tarkin and Princess Leia, very uncanny valley.
Remember, rebellions are built on hope. Uh. Anyway,
Anyways. What else came in 2016?
like I said, Captain America Civil War, real quick. I know we talked about it, but you know what the best part of it was? Everyone, Captain Spider-Man coming in.
Yeah.
Yes.
Of
Absolutely.
course. Remember, have you ever seen this very old movie called The Empire Strikes Back?
Tony, how old is this kid?
I don't know. I didn't carbon date him. He's on the young
youngest.
side.
We're gonna talk about
Okay.
it. We mentioned
Oh,
we mentioned Ryan Reynolds and Green Lantern.
you
We have to talk
know,
about his redemption of superhero movies with Deadpool.
because you know why I think this movie is so important?
This was R-rated.
It basically showed, hey, comic book movies can be for grown-ups.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
And boy,
R-rated
was it.
movies are actually marketable.
Yes.
Isn't that amazing?
In fact, if you play your cards right and do it for the right superheroes, you can make some bank.
Exactly. And it came out on Valentine's Day weekend that year too. The perfect date night movie. Remember the opening? You're probably saying that to yourself. This is my boyfriend said this is a superhero movie. Well,
But he just turned that guy into a kebab.
the dialogue was the best part, hands down. But yeah, Deadpool came out in 2016. Step over here for a sec. Do you want to touch on it or no?
BVS.
We'll do it really quick because we're only in 2016. So
Oh, we got to.
Okay.
a movie that
Before we say anything, has anyone here seen the director's cut?
yes, I did a movie commentary by myself of it.
Is it
That's-
really that much better?
Yes, honestly, I gave the movie an 8 out of 10.
And would you give the original?
Like a 6, maybe a 7. It really does make a difference.
See, here's my thing. The goofy stuff that was in the original version is still going to be in the director's cut. The whole Martha thing, Doomsday, Lex Luthor with Jesse Eisenberg. That's also going to be in the movie.
Yeah.
Those were my main
Oh.
gripes.
Oh, God. Justin, you could tell everyone I hated Jesse Eisenberg.
Oh, he did.
Yeah.
Every time he was on screen, I wanted to hit him with something.
I would say he's an overrated actor.
Because it was all Bruce Wayne, Clark Kent. I love bringing people together.
Yeah.
Here's hoping Nicholas Hoult does a much better job.
Let's hope. Let's hope.
And I think this is the one that everyone hated. Meet Your Doomsday.
The trailer has screwed that one over.
Well, because, when this first came out, remember, was it 2013, 2014 when they
announced it, they read right
when they announced it at Comic-Con. And who was it who read the quote from The Dark Knight Returns?
Harry Lennox.
Yeah.
I'm going to get Harry to read this because I need someone with an epic voice to read this.
I want you to remember, Clark, in all the years to come, in all your most private moments, I want you to remember the one man who beat you.
And it showed the Superman
How
logo.
many times have you read that quote, JT?
Too many to count.
It had the Superman logo, and then it had the Bat logo, and the people went absolutely nuts.
Yeah, there's still reactions to that online. It's crazy.
We went, Superman, you're gonna get it. And
that is a great image. I will admit to that.
Oh, the logo, the marketing was great.
And then things started going downhill. Ben Affleck as Batman. What?
Okay, that was not bad.
That was the best adaptation on screen I've ever seen.
I was talking about the first reactions.
The first reactions were, yeah.
Wait, what?
They're like, oh,
Batfleck? Ben Affleck? What? He was actually good. I actually liked him as Batman.
He was in my opinion, the best on-screen Batman I've seen.
And
regardless of the movie, but still.
And then Jesse Eisenberg is Lex Luthor.
Crickets.
What? And then people go, well, that wasn't Lex Luthor. It was Lex Luthor Jr. I'm like, oh.
God.
My God, that drove me crazy.
Yeah.
So, the best. I remember when this movie was coming out, and I was the excitement was through the roof for me. For me personally, and like the whole costume that Ben Affleck wore, the Batman costume, was ripped directly from the comic books.
But here's my problem with the DC. This was sort of the beginning of the DCEU.
Yes.
Yeah.
And this is my problem with the DCEU with this and then Justice League. I feel like they were just trying to play catch up with Marvel.
They were.
Oh, they were.
Like, oh, we don't have time to do all the movie like what Marvel do. Marvel's making money, so we gotta giddy up. We gotta giddy up.
I will say though, after watching Zack Snyder's Justice League,
yeah,
what they were building up to was looking to be pretty cool. So if they stuck with Snyder's vision, I would have stayed on board. But they kept course correcting and kept course correcting till they were just
too many cooks in the kitchen.
Aimless.
Yeah, it's unfortunate.
Which culminated in 2023 when they announced, oh, we're doing a reboot again with 4 movies still on the slate for that year.
That's like it's time to abandon the current DCEU. So
I can agree.
I hope James Gunn does a better job.
I really hope so, and I wish him all the luck in the world.
It's time we have really good
leadership.
Not just that, but DC films. So,
and that starts with leadership.
Exactly. Anything else for 2016, guys? I think we're hitting that with a lot of.
I mean, there was Suicide Squad.
I enjoyed it for what it was worth.
I didn't.
All right.
The Jared Leto Joker stuff was too much. boring villain. It felt more like a music video than a movie.
Hmm.
Kind of sucked.
Yeah.
Released the air cut. So, anyways.
I mean, stranger things have happened.
That is true.
Yeah. Well, they're gonna do it. So let's check. All right, let's go to 2017. Oh boy, we're gonna have to talk about it. We're gonna have to talk about it, guys.
Last Jedi.
Yes. Should we or should we not?
We'll just say this. Ryan Johnson made a very subversive movie,
I agree.
for better or worse.
Yep.
Some people love what he did. A lot of people hated it. And it would inform Lucasfilm's decision making a lot going forward. And that is probably what ruined the movies. The constant need to micromanage and not dedicate themselves to a plan.
I agree. Yep. Despicable Me 3 made $1 billion. That's insane.
Wow.
That's insane. All right. So 2017, we got Spider-Man Homecoming.
It was good. I liked it.
Justin, anything?
Great return to form for Spider-Man. Telling a smaller story in Queens really works for him.
Yep.
The high school setting really works for him.
And Ned is the best part of the movie.
I think making Spider-Man younger was actually the best thing they could do because it shows him that, yeah, he's still learning.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
a good. That's a good thing. Getting
And
Tom Holland playing was a good.
What we will find out later is the trilogy is essentially one elongated origin story for him.
I agree.
And of course, my favorite scene in that movie is the "This Be My Destiny" scene.
Yeah.
Mm.
Come on, Spider-Man. Come on, Spider-Man. Come on, Spider-Man.
I'm just gonna say something. We forgot Doctor Strange, but that's okay.
Fuck.
We can go back really quick if you want. Well, there's only 120.
Guys, we've been doing this for 2 hours, so let's make it quick.
I mean, Doctor Strange is super trippy, super awesome, amazing final act where
I've come to
Doctor
bargain.
Strange wins by bargaining instead of fighting.
It was
using
great.
your mind instead of your fists.
Yes, it was great. I would say it's Marvel's first horror movie.
Could see that.
If you think about it, the guy Scott Derrickson who directed it was a horror director, anyways.
Yeah, but it's not all that scary.
No, I mean, well, it had horror elements. It wasn't like scary, but still.
Small horror elements.
Right out of the comic books. And if there's you don't know about this, and watch us and don't watch us live. Just Google Doctor Strange and like his costume was identical. It was crazy. That's Justin. You want to read some good comic books? Read Doctor Strange from Steve Ditko stuff.
The Steve Ditko ones?
Yes, if you can find a graphic novel of that stuff, read it.
See, I was reading his 70s stuff for Doctor Strange.
Okay. I'm gonna for Christmas. I'm gonna get you a graphic novel of it.
Okay.
Okay. Just saying. All right, we had to touch on that for a sec. Back to 2017, Spider-Man, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2.
My favorite Guardians movie.
Really?
I did like this movie.
You liked it more than 3?
See, here's the thing. I haven't watched 3 since
we did a review of it.
Since we saw it in theaters, because that movie has some heavy scenes in it that makes me not super eager to revisit the movie.
Okay.
Volume 2, on the other hand, has some of my favorite scenes in the MCU, including Rocket, Groot, and Yondu's escape from the Ravengers,
Oh yeah, that was great.
all to the tune of "Come a Little Bit Closer."
Fantastic.
Still my favorite fight scene in all of the MCU.
And one of my favorite, and of course, the really big heart tugging scene. He may have been your father, boy, but he wasn't your daddy.
Ha! You look like Mary Poppins.
Yeah, I liked this movie though. I did. All right. Anything else for 27? Oh, Wonder Woman.
Yeah, we have to talk about Wonder Woman. Proof that female superhero movies can work
And work well.
very well.
Oh,
Very
I
inspired
absolutely agree.
choice to put in World War One. Cast did an amazing job all around. That Mysterio looked absolutely breathtaking.
Yeah. The score was great too.
Oh my god, yeah.
Crazy. I originally hated the casting initially. I was like, why are they casting like someone who's not like who's 95 pounds to play Wonder Woman? But it worked. So in this case, it worked.
See, that never really bothered me because I know they're gonna put in the work to get the physique. Otherwise, I cast them.
Right. And that makes sense. So had to touch on what from 1917, 2017. Sorry. What about we're losing sleep. All right, 2017. And that's it, right?
Yeah.
All right, 2018. Almost there, guys. 2 more years. We have to talk about it.
Infinity War or Black Panther?
Both.
Both
All right.
Incredibles 2, Aquaman, Bohemian Rhapsody, Venom. This is a good year for film, guys.
Yeah, it was.
Should we
Let's start
start?
with Black Panther because this one was just a cultural phenomenon, especially with African American audiences, Black audiences in general. Honestly,
You know
Yes.
what? I'm going to use a sports analogy, and guess who I'm going to compare this to?
who?
It's basically like the Jackie Robinson of Marvel.
The 42 of Marvel. Yeah.
Funny you should say that, considering Chadwick Boseman, the late great Chadwick Boseman.
Did play Jackie Robinson. Yes, I know.
We did a movie commentary.
Yes, I actually have the DVD, believe it or not, right here.
Well,
Perfect timing.
la dee da.
Oh, Justin, you're just jealous because you don't have perfect timing like I did. Anyway,
I'm gonna give you a perfect slap to your head.
I'm in an undisclosed location.
Let me guess. You're at home under your mattress.
Yeah.
Let's keep
I
going, guys.
I remember, what was that? Just
No, you're gonna keep going. Sorry, I cut you off.
I remember when we saw this in theaters. That was awesome. The movie was great. I
Yeah.
love the lore. The lore was awesome. What else can I say about this movie?
an actually very interesting villain.
It was nominated for
Killmonger.
Best Picture.
Nominated for Best Picture, first superhero movie ever to be nominated for Best Picture.
Killmonger. And yeah, like what else to say about this film?
Yeah.
And okay, what else to talk about? Before we get to the big one, we gotta talk about some of like the Oscar bait films that came out that year, because there were a few. Black Klansman,
Yep.
which Justin, you and I saw together. What did you think of it?
I liked it. It definitely Spike Lee definitely wears his politics on his sleeve. And it definitely shows in this movie.
But you know what? You got to look at it this way. If you go into a Spike Lee movie, you should know what you're getting yourself into.
Yes.
If you go into a Quentin Tarantino movie, you should know what you're getting yourself into.
Yes.
And like, listen, if you're not familiar with, if you don't like it, then you didn't have to see it. And you should be familiar with what this person's style was. I liked the movie. It was very thought-provoking. It's about a gentleman who wants to become a cop. He undercover joins the KKK, and it's based on the true story in the book by Ron Stallworth.
Yeah.
And there was another movie that came out and it won Best Picture that had to do with race. And let's just say it's a movie that really got Justin, how would you describe the
Oh, it was torn apart by people who were reacting to it.
and that's the movie Green Book.
Which you actually really, really liked when it first came out.
I did. I thought it was good. But the quality of it is not bad. The problem is it actually tells the story of Viggo Mortensen's character, Tony, who drives around, who drives Maya Hershey Ali, Dr. Don Shirley's character.
In the Deep South.
The Deep South in the 1960s. And Green Book, which many people don't know what it's about, why it's called Green Book, it was actually based off a travel book of where African Americans were allowed to stay. And you know, like, here's people's issues with the movie. One, they saying that a lot of it was made up. Don Shirley's family came out and said this was a bunch of crap. Like, Don Shirley and Tony really weren't friends. But then Tony's son came out and said they were. And there were audio saying that Tony was more than just a chauffeur. He was my friend. And then, of course, there was controversy. I think it was one of the screenwriters or one of the directors who some old tweets came out or something, or some old things that he said that came out that weren't exactly Justin, how would you describe it?
Appropriate.
And we're not going to repeat what he said because we don't want to give dignity to these quotes. But he got in trouble for that. And plus, I think here's why people hated this movie. When you look at Black Klansman, okay, the film takes place in the past. But the end of it, like, it shows what happened it shows, because it was released on the anniversary of the Charlottesville riot.
Right.
And it was actually dedicated to Heather Heyer, the young lady who was killed. And I think Green Book shows, Tony and Don are friends, racism's over. it just simplifies it. I think maybe that's
Yeah.
why so many people didn't like it.
Yeah.
While when you look at something like Black Klansman, it looks like no, racism is still alive and still exists. So that's my theory why I think a lot of people hated Green Book. Justin, am I right, wrong, crazy?
Not to mention, it's another white savior movie.
Yes. We could do a whole thing on that, but we don't have the time. We've been doing this for over 2 hours and we're tired and we want to leave. So, all
So
right.
let's talk about Infinity War real quick. So, as we said earlier in this episode, a movie that really left audiences on a shocking note. And if that was the note that they ended on, woof. Thankfully, it wasn't the note that they ended on, but
Yes.
I'm just saying. Some people consider this the best MCU movie ever.
Even better than the sequel.
Yes. Because this movie works on its own. Endgame sort of needs some homework.
What do you think?
I enjoy Endgame more, but I also have the knowledge of all 20 something other movies before it. So I'll get the full experience.
So you didn't get the whole experience. But I did like, remember this? Kid, you're officially an Avenger.
Dun, 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 dun.
24 hours later. Mr. Stark, I don't feel so good. And of course, just remember the show week. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Da da da. Thanos. Now this was awesome. I loved this movie. All right. Anything else for 2018? Should we just dive into 2019 and get the hell out of here?
I think that was it.
All right.
All sure for the 2019. We got the last year of our movies from the decades. Here we go. We got to talk about Endgame. These are a lot of people went to the movies that year. That's crazy.
And that was right before,
COVID. Wow.
9 out of the 10 top 10 movies earned $1 billion.
That's
Wow.
insane. Wow.
So, yes, you had Avengers Endgame, which was a culmination of everything that came before it.
A fantastic ending to a three-phase epic known as the MCU phases 1 through 3.
Absolutely.
Probably one of the best movie going experiences of my life.
Oh,
Me
yeah.
too.
And I don't think it will ever be topped.
I agree.
There was just something about this movie that you just remember exactly how you were feeling when you were watching this movie. And it's
And the ending, I actually put number one as my top movie ending, so I loved it.
Made me cry.
yeah.
Did you? Because I'm not going to tell you. And we saw this movie on opening night.
On my 25th birthday.
Yep.
Wow.
We drove an hour away
To go
to see it.
Yeah.
with probably one of the best audiences we could have asked for.
Oh, absolutely.
I
This
felt
was probably one of the best movie experiences I've had.
one of the best.
Yeah.
Do we want to touch on Rise of Skywalker at all or no?
Ugh. It happened. It existed. It sucked. The end. Thank you. Good night.
It destroyed the Star Wars movies for me.
Captain
You know what the
Marvel?
best part of this? You know what the best part of the movie was, Justin?
What?
It end.
Oh!
Captain Marvel?
Meh.
Me.
I liked it. Spider-Man Far From Home.
Good.
I liked it.
Frozen 2.
Didn't see it.
Neither did I. The remake of that 1994 movie, The Lion King.
Ugh.
God awful.
The live action adaptation. I can't believe it made that much money. That's crazy. Toy Story 4.
Meh.
Aladdin.
Fine, but unnecessary.
Was okay.
Jumanji: The Next Level.
It was good.
Eh.
A lot of people went to the movies that year. That's
Hey,
crazy.
you're missing a movie.
Which one am
You
I
missed the
missing?
movie.
You missed Joker.
Oh, sorry. Joker 1. We'll talk about it really quick.
So
It was. Go on, Justin.
it's complicated because to discuss Joker 1, my opinions of it have kind of changed with Joker 2.
Which we did a theater reaction on that. Go check it out.
Check it out on our YouTube channel.
Spoiler alert, it sucked.
Spoiler alert, it sucked.
I think the way that Joker 2 ended made a lot of Joker 1 pointless to me. I probably won't watch it again for a very long time.
Oh, I don't think I'm ever going to watch it again.
But when I first saw this movie, I was very disturbed, but also kind of blown away. Because this was a very thought-provoking movie. Joaquin Phoenix killed it. It's a very unsettling movie.
No, it really is.
And it really puts a spotlight on how bad the mental health care system really is.
How it really neglects.
Yeah. But again, my opinion of the movie kind of changed after this past week.
So what, you don't like the first Joker?
I just find it kind of pointless after seeing where it's all going. The second movie should have never happened.
And it shouldn't have. But you know why they made it?
Money.
We got to have money.
If that was the case, though, why did you quadruple the budget?
Exactly.
And I was texting you guys. You know who liked this movie?
Who?
Dr. Hemsley liked Joker 2.
Oh, yeah?
And he liked it. Listen, Dr. Hemsley, we respectfully disagree with you. Listen, if you somehow like this movie, go ahead, like it. You're not bothering us.
Yeah.
But I heard people were walking out of Joker 2.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah.
Now, I know what you're all thinking. Talk about Joker 1. Well, we kind of can't talk about Joker 1 because we've been scarred with Joker 2, haven't we?
Yeah, unfortunately. We could really have just wrapped up our movies to the decades like with a really sour note.
Oh, we should have ended on Endgame. That would have been great.
It's all right. Well, we covered Endgame. It's okay. So
All right. So, yeah, that's everything.
that's everything, right, guys?
Yeah.
That's kind of like the basic gist of everything that happened in the last decade of movies.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, we want to thank you for watching, listening here. If you enjoyed us, that's going to do it for us as always. Thanks so much for tuning into our podcast as always. Bill, you have a sports thing.
Sports Insanity Podcast on the Sports Insanity Network. Check us out on all platforms. Don't forget to check us out Thursday night Gridiron. We're gonna be previewing the Seattle San Fran game. It's gonna be fun. And I have a project that I'm working on, which should be coming out in the next couple weeks. So stay tuned for that.
Yes. Like I said, the Sports Center Network, they do such a great job over there. Please check them out as always. If you like what you've seen or heard here, subscribe to us on YouTube. We do the show live on YouTube every Wednesday night. We did it on Tuesday this week because Bill had something going on. That's okay. But yeah, but thank you so much for tuning to our movies through the decades podcast we've done for the past 4 or 5 weeks now. This has been a really big treat going into the roast and going into our 200th episode of Mixed Bag. We will keep you posted on when that's going to happen. Please follow us on our social media pages as well. Simply at the Super Review Show on our Facebook and our Instagram. Simply at the Super Review Show. I do postings on there a lot, and I'll give you updates regarding our 200th episode of Mixed Bag coming soon. And whenever we figure out exactly what we're doing and when we're doing it. So yeah. But for all of us here, what's that?
So don't forget next week.
Yes, everyone. The roast of J-Man comes next week. The roast of me and my pillow fetishes. What? I'm just kidding. No, in all seriousness, though,
You're giving us material here, buddy.
I know. Regardless, though, the roast of J-Man's happening next week, and then our following week will be our 200th episode of Mixed Bag. I'm losing train of thought. It's okay. But but thanks so much for watching this, guys. So for all of us here at the Super Review Show, stay safe.
Take care.